सनकाधिक पूजत जारज शिव सनकाधिक सोई रजसी सचढ़ाम बसो बरसाने अली वृष भानु लली सुधि मेरो विसारो कोमल चिंत दीनन रोहित नित करो ये बात यारो गान दियो सुनियो मम स्वामी गान दियो सुनियो मम स्वामी दास के आस मुजावन हारो मोहि देहुवर डोला करो शुभ नाम जपो राधा मेरो स्वामी मैं राधे को दास जन्म जन्म मोह दीजियो श्री वृंदावन व्यास स्वामी छवि वेद विमल यश गाऊं यश गाऊं
When the God, the Hawan didn't get on the speed. The Hawan didn't go on the speed.
Mekananhasa Megachotasa Bachau Tumaho Bale Balavan Prabhuji Mere Laj Rakho Mere Suna Hai Tumane Yaade Lakho Se Yukathare Megachotasa Bachau Puja Bidaro Kuchadai Prabhuji Mere Laj Rakho तुम्हारे साधन प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो छोटा सा बचाऊं गरीब बना लो भगवान प्रभु जी मेरे लाज रखो मैं छोटा सा बचाऊं तुम
Excellent, excellent. बजाइए। आप अभी आए? It's 10 o'clock and we are going to start this morning. We invite you to join with us in our prayers. This morning's Puja is sponsored by Leonard and his family in memory of his mother. Also, it is his mother-in-law's birthday and his son's. So we ask Bhagavad to bless them during this period. Asangoham, 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 punah punah.
Asangoham, 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 punah punah.
Satchidananda rupoham,
Satchidananda rupoham,
ahameva avyayam.
ahameva hamavyaya.
We now do the mantra for Sharanagati. Can you put on the lights, please? Hello? Can you put on the lights so people can see? Yeah. Oh. Nadarvanishto smirchanatmavedi na bhaktivantva charanarabinde akincha ananya gati sharanya tvatpadamulam Sharanam prapadye. Let us all concentrate upon our Guru and ask for our Guru's blessing. The foremost Guru of this world is Lord Shiva. And of course, we all know in 3 weeks' time, we will be celebrating his beautiful night, which is known as Mahashivratri. So to that Guru, Param Guru, who is Lord Shiva, who has instructed us and instructed all the mind-born sages and also the Sapta Rishis, we pray to him and ask for his blessings. Guru Surya hai, Chanda Guru hai.
Guru Surya hai, Chandra Guru hai.
Guru hai Pura Prakash.
Guru hai Pura Prakash.
गुरु के चरणों में मिलता है, गुरु के चरणों में तन मन को उल्लास गुरु के
गुरु सूर्य है
चंद्र गुरु गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश। गुरुर ब्रह्मा गुरुर विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः।
गुरु सूर्य है चंद्र गुरु है गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश।
शान्तकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृदयै ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं।
गुरु सूर्य है गुरु है गुरु है पूर्ण प्रकाश।
गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमन हरि गोविंद बोलो
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
कोई कहे गोविंद कोई गोपाला
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 मैं तो कहो सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
मैं तो कहो सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
मैं तो कहो सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
ओ गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
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 हे कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
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 बोलो गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
ओ हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
ओ हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
ओ हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
Gopala Bolo Govinda Bolo Bolo Gopala Bolo. Today I'm going to speak a little about the attitude that we must adopt in life as is coming up to Mahashivratri. A little bit about the shivling. Then I'll speak a little bit about vitamin K2, which I spoke about last week, because some people are extremely confused about it. And then we're going to, before vitamin K2, we're going to do meditation. The meditation will not be done at the end of the program, but as before, so we'll do the meditation by 11:45 to 11. Then we will have Gita. After that, Hanuman Chalisa, Bhajan, and then Arti. This is the program for this morning. So let's hope that we all enjoy it. Every human being starts with one little cell in their mother's womb. One little cell is fertilized or given a cell, not to be too very specific, I just want to say this: the ovary produce one cell, the sperm come and they give another cell, and so when it unite together, it forms what they call a zygote. And from that, it goes into multiplication. Now, every cell from that up to the 50-something trillion cells which are in your body, every single cell has the mind of the individual, has the attitude of the individual, and what we have to understand by this, what I'm saying about the cells, is that each cell in your body, if you become upset, this is not the nature of your body. If you become upset, then all the trillions of cells gets upset in the body, and you become what? You become more upset. If you are happy, they're all happy. Everyone is happy. And we must understand there's an interdependence between ourselves. There's an interdependence between myself and yourself and another person, because you know what? It's one consciousness in this world, and that one, please don't interfere to when I'm speaking. Hello, don't interfere when I'm speaking. When after I finish speaking, you all can do what you like. Yes, so I wish people don't do that when I'm talking. Please don't do that next time. Yes, there's an interdependence among each and every one of us. And because there's an interdependence, because all of us we tap into this one consciousness in this world. And when I am happy, I make the person next to me to be happy. He can also, because I am sending out positive energy to that person to make that person happy. If I'm angry, if I'm nasty, if I'm crude, if I'm all upset, then I send out that vibration to that person next to me and to the whole congregation that is there. So this is very important to know that all of us live an interdependent life. And because of this, you must never say I. Because I is equal to what? Illness. We must say we, because we is equal to wellness. So when we start today that I did this and I did that, is that I? Is that so many people are responsible for you doing this thing? You know how many people are responsible? From your little ABC school teacher. From there, then you go up to high school, university, post-university. All these are all responsible for the building or molding of your character. And we must always try to avoid the word I did this and I did that and I did the other. Because If we look at it again, I just want to remind you, especially the children in the back, I is equal to illness, and W, we is equal to wellness. This is the attitude we must have, because we are all interdependent upon one another. We are no individual that live on an island by ourselves. No. A few people can do that in this world, but not many people. Because we always want to hear from the other person. We always want to communicate. We always want to do something which is very, very important for us. And because of this, we must try to see how we can keep ourselves happy. You know why you meditate? We meditate to keep ourselves happy. We meditate to throw away all the garbage from our minds. Because we want to be a we want to be a wellness. We want to give wellness to the world. And if your mind, listen to this again, mind your mind, your heart will be fine. Mind your mind, your heart will be fine. Because if you keep your mind clean, if you keep your mind pure, I'm telling you, difficult for us to do, because all of us find some little thing to criticize another person about. We always do that. We always find something where we can criticize, where we can say a little bit, and sarcasm. If sarcasm kills you more, you might as well tell the people, you know what, you're a bad guy, instead of being sarcastic. So, mind your mind. This is a saying not of me. Eminent professors and cardiologists have said these words. Mind your mind, your heart will be fine. Because Niramala mana jana so mohi pava mohi kapata chala chedana bhava Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama
Niramala mana jana so mohi pava
Nirmal man jana so mohi pava
mohi kapata chala chedana bhava
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama
Shri Ram Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Rama
Why am I saying this? When we have just opened a clinic at the temple below, at the main floor, we have opened a wellness clinic. Why should I be saying this? Because I want people to come? Well, because our minds are not pure, our diseases are more. You get it? When our minds are not pure, our diseases are more. You might not have a physical disease, thank God. You might not have a physical disease like cancer or whatever, but the diseases of the mind, my dear friends, is worse sometimes. Anxiety and depression, all these type of neuroses, they are worse. They don't. At night when your head hit the pillow, what? You cannot sleep. And this is the reason why our mind must be pure. And the person to make our mind pure is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, no one can say he had a parentage. He was never born. No one can say he died. No one knew. We know that Rama left this earth. He went to the Saryu River. We know Krishna Bhagavan was shot by the hunter. We know all these things. But no one can say where Lord Shiva ended and where he started. Anyone ever know Lord Shiva as a little boy? there are little images about it, but that's not true. Everyone knew Lord Shiva as an adult. And Lord Shiva is really just pure consciousness. And if you look, Lord Shiva is that consciousness. If you look at an atom, or an atom has, you can see to the screen, an atom has proton, it has neutron, and it has electron. The proton is positive, the neutron has no charge, the two of them are in the nucleus together, and spinning around them is the electron, which has a negative charge. That negative charge that is spinning around them, because the reason how the atomic bomb is made, etc., there's a physics professor at the back there, he can tell you that fission occurs of the molecule, electrons are exposed, and then the power comes in the atomic bomb. The electrons are going at such a great speed around the nucleus. Do you know that? Such a great speed around the nucleus. And Lord Shiva is the neutron. He has no charge. Lord Vishnu is positive. He has that positive charge. He's a proton. And going around them is the Shakti, or the energy. And this is the electron. And this is where the power is. The power is in the electron, as is depicted where a molecule, when fission occurs, then they take that and they make the hydrogen bomb, the atomic bomb, etc., by doing this to the molecule. And this is the power of Shiva. And this is not represented by a form. It is represented by the lingam, and the lingam is completely without form. You may say, yes, there is a form. Of course there is a form. There is a form, but there is no structure to the form. There are no eyes, there are no ears, there is no body, there is no limbs, there is no mouth, etc. That lingam is oval in shape, usually oval in shape, because it's related to the cosmic egg. Have you heard of the cosmic egg? The cosmic egg is known as the Hiranyagarbha. And when before creation started, the cosmic egg comes and it bursts. And if you want to see a demonstration of this, you go into a museum, there's a film about it, and the cosmic egg bursts, and then all the DNA, RNA, everything comes out then, and so creation started. The lingam is such an entity that when it represents that Lord Shiva, and you see the shape of the lingam. I've told you this so many times before. It looks exactly like what you see in Darling. Is it Darling? And in Pickering and all those places, what do you call it? The nuclear reactor is exact shape of the nuclear reactor, I must say, is practically the shape of the Shivling. In that Shivling, the electrons are so going on and has the power, the Shakti. So, especially for children in the back, when someone tells you this, that the Shivling is a phallic symbol, which is what is preached in the schools here today, because the people who are teaching Hinduism, they don't know anything about Hinduism, is that the Shivling is really a storehouse of energy. But if you look where the Shivling sits upon, you see that little, it's not very bright here, but you see it sits upon something that is just between the base, and you can see that half thing. Yeah. It represents a cross-section of the uterus. Exactly the cross-section of a uterus. And the lingam is supposed to be the male entity. So what it represents? It represents life, or the energy of life. This is what the lingam represents. And because it has so much of energy, what we do, how we do worship on him? We pour water upon him. Many people criticize the amount of milk we put on the lingam. You don't have to put milk if you don't want to put milk. You can put, but there are so many people who put so many things, and it's prescribed that we must do this. We put water upon the lingam because we want the heat that is generated there, we want it, that heat must be cool with the water that flows on the lingam. As a matter of fact, in many temples, there's usually, we had it here, there is a goblet, or a lota, you call it, and the water drips on the lingam all the time because we want to cool the lingam. It is that Lord Shiva that we worship. So when people tell you that Hindus worship idols, etc., Hindus do not worship idols. These idols are there only to help us to focus, to help us to understand, to help us because our mind is so distracted with everyday thing. You know, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? What's the first thing we do? We pick up our phone and we see who called us last night, or who messaged us, or who did this, or who did that. First thing we do, we look at the phone. Even before you go to the bathroom, you say, oh, let me check. If any emails come, any messages come, anyone has said anything bad about me, you check that first. Then you go about your duty. But what we should do first thing in the morning, don't look at the phone, don't look at the news, don't go and check your email, just for 15 minutes. 15, 1-5, for 15 minutes, if we can sit down and just concentrate upon the Lord for 15 minutes. Just let your mind go blank. And what the concentration is about? Lord, I thank you. I thank you for making me what I am. I thank you for keeping me healthy. I thank you for allowing me to speak, to write, to read, to understand, to be with my people. All this is what we have to thank the Lord for. I am telling you, that 15 minutes, if you can sit down and do that, it will energize you so much that when you go, hopefully you have a shower, and then you go about your daily routine that you normally do. If you just practice this for 1 week, especially the children in the back, if you can practice this for 1 week, you will see how sharp you'll be at school, how sharp you'll be at answering questions, how sharp you'll be at absorption of whatever the teacher is teaching, etc. That 15 minutes will give you, because that 15 minutes is concentrated right in your mustache, right in your brain. And it will give you so much of power, so much of energy. And when you go there, and you do that in the morning, what you do? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om Namah Shivaya, Prabhu, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Bam 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 Bholenath, Om Namah Shivaya.
Bam 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 Bholenath, Om Namah Shivaya.
Bam 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 Bholenath, Om Namah Shivaya.
Oh, bam 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 Bholenath, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah. Lord Shiva will give us that energy that you will practice this method called the Kaizen method. Ever heard of it? Kaizen, the Kaizen method, where we all try and cooperate together. 1947, Japan was nothing. It was Hiroshima, Nagasaki, they were all bombed. India got independence in 1947. India was better than Japan in 1947. Because of the Kaizen method applied by the Japanese, today India is a greater economic power than India today. And this Kaizen method is where, for example, if I ask you to stretch your hand, you'll stretch your hand, right? But you will never stretch your hand to the fullest. The Kaizen method is, when you stretch your hand, you say stretch your hand more because there's more to go. You stretch your hand to the fullest. But the Kaizen method is where everyone is there. It's a meeting room. Everyone makes a suggestion. And if they say, I think we should put a flower pot here, they will bring the flower pot. If they want to say, no, we should have this door painted, whatever, they each give a suggestion, and they are allowed to carry their suggestion. That cooperative spirit, together with stretching yourself to the limit in whatever you're doing, make us proceed and progress so much in life. When we get up in the morning, especially those who exercise and those who go to the gym, this morning I don't want to go to the gym. I don't think I should work. I don't think I should walk. The place is cold. All sorts of excuses we make. You should not make excuse. You should, because you know why? He does not make excuse to allow your heart to beat. Does he? Your heart beats all the time. Whether it is cold, whether it is snowing, whatever it is, it beats all the time. This is the Lord Shiva. This is the energy the Lord Shiva gives us. And on Mahashivratri Day, on the 18th of February, which is a Saturday, we are going to have that. But I would like to change up something on that Saturday, is that when one Rudram will be done by everybody. In other words, we'll have a priest who can do it clearly. When he says one line, everybody will say that line. He said the second line, everybody will say the second line. And so, at least, while this 11th Rudram is going on, and that's fine, nothing is wrong with that, but I feel the more you are involved, the better it is for everyone. The less we are involved, the more boring it becomes. So the more involved we are, and I thought about this, I think this is a good way to let all of us get involved. And the only way for all of us to get involved is for all of us. I will try to see if Pandit Bhoj or somebody can make out the copy of the Rudram in English, which for those who want English, and in Sanskrit for those who can read the Sanskrit, because then at least you can see it and you can follow it. Why am I doing that? Because, I should say we. Why are we doing that? We are doing that because the Rudram, there's a book called the Yajurveda. Yajurveda is where all the Upanishad comes from the end of the Yajurveda. And in the Yajurveda, the Rudram is like a necklace in the middle of it. And a pendant is there. Just like how Bhagavad Gita is a necklace in the Mahabharata. Similarly, the Rudram is a necklace. The Rudram is a necklace in the Yajurveda. It's our saints and sages. Show that picture again with the molecules and so. Our saints and sages, they knew about the structure of the atom Even before Einstein or any of these people knew it. You know what? Before Einstein and any of these people had known about atoms, our saints and sages knew about this diagram. They described this atomic structure in the Vedas. And here they talk about the proton and the neutron, which I told you about. The neutron is Lord Shiva. He has no charge whatsoever. Vishnu has a charge, the Divine Mother has a charge, but he has no charge. And for those of us who understand the atomic structure and how the atomic bomb is made, etc., it's called atomic bomb because it comes from the atoms. And it comes from the fission of the molecules, and that is how the atomic bomb comes. And the lingam of itself, as I told you, represents a nuclear reactor. I just want you to remember that. Because from the nuclear reactor, what comes? Energy comes. And that energy is what you get by talking to Lord Shiva. And here in this beautiful Ramayana Chaupai, it says,
Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Patit Pawan Siya Ram
Sagunai Agunai Nai Kachu Veda Gawai Muni Purana Buddha Veda
Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Patit Pawan Sita Ram
O Aguna Arupa Alaka Ajajoyi Bhagata Prema Basa Saguna Sohoye
Ram Siya Ram Jai Jai Ram Patit Pawan Sita Ram
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya
Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya
Aguna Arupa Alaka Ajajoyi Bhagata Prema Basa Saguna Sohoye
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya
Agun, Arup, Alaka, Ajajoy, that which has no form, which has no attributes, has, and which is invisible, has become, he comes, that entity which is attributeless, formless, invisible, comes to us out of pure love. And what I told you this morning, each cell in our body interacts with the cell of the person next to you because we are all from the same makeup. Our genes, of course, are different, but every cell, every zygote is called ZYGOT, you can look it up. Every cell of our body is interdependent upon the other. That is why we must share our love. We must share our kindness. We must have empathy. Not sympathy only, but empathy for people. We lack empathy. We lack compassion. We lack kindness. And then we come here and we fast and we pray and we are just as brutish as we were when we leave here. It doesn't work. Not you all, eh? You all are exemplary. Right, Aman? Everybody here is a Paramahans. They all are great. They're talking to you. Talk about those who don't come. Okay? All right. This is where science changes all the time. Religion does not change. In 1925, One person says this world is made up of particles only. 1925, he got a Nobel Prize. 1950, I can't remember, but anyhow, 1905. In 1930, his sons then make a description that all this cosmos and this consciousness are all waves. His son, he got a Nobel Prize. That son, the grandson of the first one, you got it? Father, son, grandson now. This grandson, he made a description. Everything is frequency. He got a Nobel Prize. This is to tell you how science changes all the time. There was a great scientist, you know. His son had a serious disease. And the disease, this was in England, and the disease could not have been cured. It took the son everywhere. All specialists, everything. No cure. One day, someone came to him and tell him, your son must go, this will sound so silly to you that you will laugh at me. But that's fine. He says, your son must go and hug a tree for 1 hour every day. Just hug the tree. This is no science is all involved with this. This is pure transference of energy. A tree has energy because a tree doesn't have energy, then fruits would not grow. You agree? Right. That so many things would not come. Photosynthesis would not take place. You all know what photosynthesis, I hope, is. Forget about that. Anyhow, imagine I just want to tell you about a tree first. A tree will take water from the ground and it will produce glucose. Is that phenomenal? Because it takes the carbon dioxide, CO, and it takes H2O from Earth, and it makes it into a glucose molecule through the process of photosynthesis, etc. So, this scientist was told by someone, your son must go and hug a tree for 1 hour every day. During the hugging of the tree, he must laugh as much as he can. The scientist didn't want to be too rude to him. He didn't want to chase him out from the house. But both scientists and his wife, the wife was a scientist too, they all laughed at him. The son, in the meanwhile, lying on his bed, was listening. So the son thought, I am going to die. Why don't I try this? Because everything else has failed. It was a summertime. 4 o'clock in the morning, he went and hugged the tree. 1 hour. Laughed. And then after 3 or 4 weeks, they noticed the son is getting stronger. He's more active. He's doing so many things. And eventually they decided that they will wait up and see what he's doing. And they woke up very early one morning and they saw him going to the tree, hugging the tree, and etc., etc. That scientist, his name is Cousins, and he wrote a book, and the book is called An Anatomy of Our Illness. You can write it down. You don't have to write it down. You would not look at it in any case. But I'm here to tell you, Anatomy of an Illness by great scientist called Cousins, Cousens. Look at that book, and you will see how he depicted it, of what he thought of spirituality. There was a young boy by the name of Bhavik, Bhavik, Bhavik. He used to live in the slums of Calcutta. His father was a teacher and So that's how they used to get an income. But the father was a follower of Gandhiji, this pre-independence, right? He was born in 1930, Bhavik. And you can look this up on the internet too. Anybody ever heard of Bhavik? Who? What do you know about him? His father was that he. Yeah. So anyhow, his father was put in jail and so forth. And he was like real poverty. Can't eat, go to school. Then some teacher caught him one day, brought him to school. And he was such a mathematical genius that this teacher took him under his wings. Then they gave him a scholarship. He went to Calcutta University. And you know who was his professor? His professor was a Nobel laureate by the name of Satyendra Bose. You ever heard of Bose? You know Bose, the Bose, you call them speakers, etc.? Satyendra Bose, he was a Nobel laureate. He took him under his wings. And then he sent him to California. And there he studied. Why am I telling you this? He's the man who invented laser so you could get laser surgery to your eye. Wow. He was the first man to invent that. You know this LASIK surgery you get? Yeah. L-A-S-I-K? Yeah. That was the guru of laser. He got so rich, huge houses, had so many, all these film stars were his girlfriend, etc., etc. Clinton will go to his house for dinner, and one day after Clinton, all these people went to his home. This is later on in his life. He then sat down he had an Olympic-sized swimming pool. He sat by his swimming pool, and he says, Bhavik, what are you doing? Where have you come from? Look how much you have gotten. Yet, did you thank the Lord who has done this for you? That moment comes to us from time to time. Many times, it passes over our head. Few people catch those moments, and those moments are known as eureka. You know what eureka? Eureka moments. And then he wrote this beautiful book, and I would like that I don't know if I should tell you about the code. The book is called, can you look it up for me, Bhavik? The book, the Code of God, or God is a code, or something to that effect. I had it written down here, but somehow I have missed it. Anyhow, so he has written a book. He's now 91 years old, and he realized that all this opulence, what has it given me? No happiness. All these people come, dine and eat, and so much of billions of dollars he has. Yet, Mani Bhavik, M-A-N-I-B-H-A-V-I-K, Mani Bhavik. He wrote a book called Code of God, I think it is. And if you, I don't know how many people read here, but if you have a time to read, please read it. It's a very good book. And so this is time for me to stop, actually. And we are going to go into meditation. I would like, as we are thinking about Lord Shiva, we can have the lights down a little bit. I don't know if there's anyone. Yeah, right. Meditation. I told you what it's like. As we sit erect, before we go into meditation, I just want you to think. I move through my days light-hearted and carefree, knowing all is well. I move through my days light-hearted and carefree, knowing all is well. I would like you to sit erect if you can, if you would like to, and we can close our eyes. Let us empty all our thoughts, our minds of all our thoughts, if we can. But if thoughts are coming, do not stop them. If thoughts are coming into your mind, try not to stop them. I am a happy soul. I am contented. I want to say thank you, Lord, for keeping me happy, feel that inner silence within you. I am a peaceful being, Lord. I want to harm no one. Prevent me from saying ill things about anyone. I am totally dependent upon your grace. When the sun rises in the morning, allow those beams to penetrate into my heart. So I am filled with light. Remove all dark thoughts from me. Fill me with positivity. No one can harm me while you are there with me. I thank you for my life. I thank you for my pure mind, my pure thoughts. Allow me to have pure mind and pure thoughts. Our hearts are filled with love. Look at the roses, how they bloom, Lord. They reflect your smiles. Allow me to smile with the roses. Make me happy. Make me glad. Make me compassionate. Allow me to help my fellow man. Let me atone for past actions that might have been harmful to others. For 1 minute, that's all. Be just silent. Empty your mind of all thoughts if it's possible. Put the Lord in there for 1 minute. Tayambakam
यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
Maya vidamgamaya
ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
Bhakti ke deep jalavo
भक्ति के दीप जलाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
जीवन को स्वर्ग बनाओ
धरा से पीड़ मिटाओ
अमृत रस बरसाओ ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
जीवन को नित्य महकाओ
जीवन को नित महकाओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
सब अवगुण को बिसराओ
हर संताप हटाओ
नारायण को हर्षावो ओम शांति 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 ओम शांति शांति शांति
Om Sahana Bhavato Sahana Bhurakto Sahaviryam Karavamahai तेजस्विनापतितमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Rub your hands together, put it over your face. Ask that all that energy of this morning's meditation and puja may go to you. Ask that Lord Shiva may bless all of us so that when we come to Mahashivratri, we can hopefully fast if we can, and at least come and do a little bit of puja to Lord Shiva and to the lingam, because the lingam is all energy, and as we all know, as I told you all earlier, the lingam represents life. The male principle and the female principle are there, and it represents life. Lord Shiva is invisible, he has no birth, he's part of the cosmos, and when we say, Om Namah Shivaya, believe me, he will come to you. He has no form, but he will come to you. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayati Yogina Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva
Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkaraya Namo Namah.
Omkaraya Namo Namah.
Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkaraya Namo Namah.
Namanti Muniyo Deva Namantyam Paratakata Naradamanti Devesha
Nakaraya Namo Namah. Nakaraya Namo Namah.
Nakaraya Namo Namah
Nakaraya Namo Namah. Nakaraya Namo Namah. Nakaraya Namo.
Dhimika Dhimika Dhim.
Om
We sing now to Lord Shiva. Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Dhimika Dhimika Dhim.
Om Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Nache Bhoda Nath. Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Nache Bhoda Nath. Om Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Nache Bhoda Nath. Om Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Dhimika Dhimika Dhim, Nache Bhoda Nath. 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 Nache Bhoda Nath.
Shiva Shiva Om.
Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om.
Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om.
Mridanga bole Shiva 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 Om.
Damaru bole Hara 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 Om.
Damaru bole Hara 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 Om.
Damaru bole Hara 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 Om.
Oh Damaru bole Hara 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 Om.
Veena bole Hari Om Hari Om.
Veena bole Hari Om Hari Om.
Bole Hari Om Hari Om.
Veena bole Hari Om Hari Om. Nache bhola na, oh nache bhola na, nache bhola na, nache bhola na, nache bhola na, nache
Nache bola da. Nache bola da.
divika divika diva divika 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 nache bhola na, om divika divika diva divika 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 nache bhola
Damaru bole Hara 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 Om. The Damaru gives the sound Omkar. There's a Lord Shiva dances as Nataraj. All dancers, when they perform a dance program, they always have Nataraj there, Ganesha or Nataraj. Because Nataraj is known as the dance of Shiva. And when he dances, he always fire. The energy comes as flames around him. And he dances around him. Vigalajwala Prabhava Pavikastale Kaleyam Lamyalam Vitangu Jangatunga Malika Yamat 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 Vinada Badda Marvaya Chakara Chanta Tandavam Tanodara Shiva
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Prabhu, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
Rakadaha Samravam Ramadhilam Padil Jari Vilo Jari Chivallari Virajamana Purnari Jagat 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 Jwalalata Padya Pavake Jagat 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 Jwalalata Padya Pavake Kishora Chandra Shekhare
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
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 Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.
So we do all of this so that our anxiety, our mind could be less anxious. We can continue to laugh. We can have humor in our life. What is life without any humor in it? What is life without laughing? Laugh and laugh and laugh. As you say, guys, laugh till you
Belly bus.
belly bust. Carefree and spend time with those who give you a lot of warmth. Warmth in love, warmth in kindness, the whole attitude is a warm attitude. Try to keep away from cold people, try to keep away from people who are negative energies. Try to keep away. If you can help them, help them. But sometimes you can't help them. You try your best, but you don't get too much. You don't allow yourself to become frustrated. Today I would like to talk about vitamin K2 again. Is it a disgusting topic? Well, we have a pharmacist at the back, and I asked him about K2, and he did not know much about it. Right, pharmacist? So, the K2 that I talked about, you see, Prabhat? You see that thing that you wrote there? 2 types of vitamin K2 for your bones. It went to Guyana, and somebody showed me this morning. He said, what does it do for your bones? I say, it does nothing for your bones, except it removes the bones from the places that are not supposed to have bones. I'll put it in your bones. Am I confusing you? So it's not for your bones, it's for your arteries. But when it's, anyhow, what I want to say, vitamin K2 has many different parts. You know, there's MK4, MK7, MK9. But the best part of vitamin K2, when you go to the drugstore, is to ask for MK7. Why MK7? Why MK7? Because MK7, when it is taken by the body, this long terminology, don't get confused, I'll explain it. Its bioavailability is more than all the K2s, 4, 9, 11. Bioavailability means that when you drink that MK7, lots of it is taken up by the body. That is called bioavailability. Is that, everybody get that? So, why do we drink MK2? Show the artery, Prabhat, show the artery just now. You see that artery, that first artery says normal artery and blood flow in it? That is how your artery is when you're a baby. As you grow up, depending upon your diet, depending upon your genes, etc., but mostly your diet, your artery can become calcified, which you see on the second part. You see the second part? Where that yellow stuff there, and the artery becomes narrowed. Now, when the artery becomes narrowed, how do we know the artery is narrowed? Because when the artery is narrowed, the blood that comes out through that artery, the velocity is much more. You see, if you squeeze a tube and you put water, you can see the water pitching out. Whereas if a tube is big and not that tight, you will see that the water does not come out with that pressure. Is that everybody get that? So what K2 does, K2 removes the calcium from our arteries or in your brain or wherever the artery is deposited, and it takes it to the bone. You got it? It takes the calcium from the arteries, from your brain, etc., and what? Take it to the bone and deposit into the bone. That is why you must use vitamin K2 with vitamin D. The dosage of vitamin K2 is 180 to 200 micrograms. And vitamin D, pharmacists told me that 10,000 units is too much, but that's what the recommended dose is. But you can use vitamin, because what vitamin D does, vitamin D absorbs the calcium from your gut and deposit it in your bone. That's what vitamin D does. But to make the vitamin K work, it has to go in combination with vitamin D. So what we're going to try to do here, I will talk to pharmacists who's in the back there and see whether we can get 100 bottles of vitamin. You take, I thought I was the only one who bought K2, but then TH tell me she has been taking K2 for a long time. Since when? What a funny man he is, isn't he? He's taking K2 or D3 since last week. Okay. Now, what does the K2 do? What the K2 does? It makes, when it takes the calcium out from the arteries, it makes the artery much more pliable. We understand that? Pliable? Softer than? Softer is not the word, but the real scientific word is pliable. It becomes softer then. So if the artery is hard, I want you all to imagine this. If the artery is hard, and the heart has to push blood through the hard arteries, right? Get me? Yeah. The heart has to work harder. Mm-hmm. Is that clear with everybody? Yeah. And when the heart works harder, what happens? Your blood pressure goes up. So what K2 does together with the combination, what it does, it helps your hypertension also. Is that okay so far? Yeah. So K2 with vitamin D3 helps hypertension. It makes, once you take it, you got to take it every day, it will help your hypertension because the resistance in your artery becomes less. Are we okay so far? Yeah. K2 plus vitamin D3, when you take it, it is said that it helps diabetics. 9% of diabetics, it helped them with their blood sugar. Because it is found in the pancreas also, and in the pancreas we produce insulin. So those diabetics who have insulin resistance, and any diabetic who is taking insulin has insulin resistance, that K2 will be a good help for them. When I said K2, you know K2, which is MK7 plus vitamin D. So when I said K2, I don't mean K2 alone, but you got me. I don't want to say the whole thing, K2 plus D. So it helps diabetics, it helps certain cancers, and also it helps Alzheimer's. Now, what is the contraindication? How to say it? What problem you have in which you should not take K2? It's called contraindication. Okay? That is only, it can affect something called INR. INR is measured to see what your clotting time is. People who take, you all heard of something called Coumadin or warfarin? It makes your blood not clot. People who have had stroke, who had atrial fibrillation, etc. But atrial fibrillation, they give a different, you don't have to take Coumadin anymore. Anyhow, if you take any of this blood anything that makes your blood thin or makes you not form a clot in your blood, K2 is contraindicated. But this is not many people have it, but people do have it. Huh? Aspirin, no. Aspirin, no problem. Aspirin is an antiplatelet drug. There is no problem with aspirin. So please remember, the K2 can help you with your artery. Your artery becomes softer. When your artery becomes softer, then your blood pressure will go down. Your left ventricle, which is a part of your heart, will not work that hard because there's something called, the people come and tell you, you know what? The doctor says my heart is enlarged. You've heard that? My heart is enlarged. Well, what part of the heart is enlarged? Usually, it is the left ventricle, which pushes the blood through the aorta. The right ventricle gets enlarged, but don't bother about that. That's rare and it causes too much confusion. Let's stick with the left ventricle. That becomes what I call hypertrophy or enlarged. Obviously enlarged, and it enlarges, then it fails. So K2 can help all these things. I decided to talk about K2 again today because people were confused about it, how we should take it, where we should not take it, etc., etc. Pharmacy, am I clear? Pharmacist? You sure? Okay. Because after the program, you're going to text me again, say, well, this was not. So, say it now or forever.
Hold your peace.
Hold thy peace. We'll have one beta, then we'll have.
Jaikara Shiravalida Pole Sachi.
Anybody has any question on this? Anybody has any question on the K2? Okay, go ahead.
बोलिए जयकारा शेरावाली दा
बोल सांची दरबार की जय।
जागो है जगदम्बे जागो है ज्वाला
जागो है जगदम्बे जागो है ज्वाला
जागो है दुर्गे माँ जागो प्रतिपाला
ओ जागो है दुर्गे माँ जागो प्रतिपाला
भक्त जनों ने तेरे दर पे डेरा डाला
ओ
जागो ओ माँ जागो जागो
माँ जागो
जागो तुम्हारे भक्त तुमको जगाए जागो तुम्हारे भक्त तुमको जगाए आओ माँ लाल तुम्हें रो रो बुलाए आओ माँ लाल तुम्हें रो रो बुलाए ज्वाला है नाम तेरा तेज है निराला जागो माँ जागो जागो माँ जागो सारा जमाना हुआ ज्योत का दीवाना सारा जमाना हुआ ज्योत का दीवाना मैया हम चरणों में मांगे ठिकाना मैया हम चरणों में मांगे ठिकाना जिस पे तेरी नजर मैया उसका बोल बाला जागो माँ जागो जागो माँ जागो जागो है जगदम्ब जागो है ज्वाला जागो है जगदम्बे जागो है ज्वाला जागो है दुर्गे माँ जागो प्रतिपाला जागो है दुर्गे माँ जागो प्रतिपाला भक्त जनों ने तेरे दर पे डेरा डाला जागो माँ जागो जागो माँ जागो जागो माँ जागो बोली जयकारा माँ माईदा बोल सच्चे दरबार की जय।
Gita Mahatma.
Om
Om Partaya Patibodhitam Bhagavatam
नारायणेन स्वयं
Vyasena Gatitat Purana Murira
मध्ये महाभारतम्
Advaita Bhagavate
अष्टादशाध्यायिनी
Amba Tvamadusandadave Bhagavat
गीते भगवद्वेषिणी
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्र नेत्र
Vedatvaya Bharata Taila Purna
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीप
Prapalla Parijataya
स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणे
Jnana Buddhaya Krishnaya
गीतामृतदुहे नमः
Sarvopanishado Gavo
दुग्धा गोपालनन्दन
Partho Vatsasudir Bhokta
दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्
Vasudeva Sutav Devam
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
Devaki Paramanandam
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरु
Vishwadura Tata Jaya Tata Jala
गान्धारनीलोत्पला
Kalyagavate Kripeda Vahade
कर्णेन वेलाकुला
Ashvattava Vikarna Ghora Makara
दुर्योधनावर्तिनी
Jyotirna Kalupada Vairarade
कैवर्तककेशव
Parasharya Vachasaroja Mamalam
गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम्
Nanakyadaka Kesharav Harikatha
सम्बोधनाबोधितम्
Loke Sajjana Satpadaira Haraha
पीपीयमानं मुदा
Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalibala
प्रध्वंसिनं श्रेयसे
Mukav Karoti Vachalam
पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं
Yat Kripatamaham Vande
परमानन्दमाधवम्
Yam Brahma Badale Daruda Varada
स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
Vedaishaga Parakramo Parashunaya
गायन्ति यं सामगा
Yanang Vastiratadagatena Manasam
पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो
Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragara
देवाय तस्मै नमः
Chapter 15, verse 7. Mamai Vancho Jiva Loke
ममैवांशो जीवलोके
Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha
जीवभूत सनातना
Manasastani Indyani
मनसस्राणि इन्द्राणि
Prakritistani Karshate
प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति
Mamai Vancho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Mara Shasthana Indyanim Prakritistani Karshati. Karshati means struggling. Bhagavan Krishna is saying to Arjun that, O Arjun, Mamai Vanshe Jivaloke, the living entities in this conditional world, all of us, they are all part of me. Every individual in this world is part of Bhagavan Krishna. But why we can't be like Bhagavan Krishna? Karshati. We are struggling. We are struggling because of, he says here, 6 senses, 5 senses plus the mind. 5 senses plus the mind. 6, because our senses are looking outward, and only the outward thing we find joy in. Only the outward thing gives us pleasure. So we don't even think about going inwards. During meditation, that is the time for us to go inwards. And when we go inwards, then we can feel that joy and that pleasure. But so many things prevent us from going inwards. Our job is not going good. House, the roof is leaking, the car not starting, this, that. Gas price just gone up 7 cents. All these sort of things. Canadian dollar is not moving. All these problems. So many problems. We have no time. That is why I say, take 15 minutes when you get up and go within yourself without looking at your phone, without looking at the news, without looking at anything else. Go within yourself. And when you go within yourself, you'll be surprised at the amount of energy that you will put forth, that you will have, and that you can do your whatever you're doing with much more stability and much more productivity. So this morning I talked about the shilling. I told you, for those of us who are worried that people say we are idol worshippers, etc., Lord Shiva is a prime example of how we are not idol worshippers. That is a day for us to do his fasting and his puja, etc. We are going to do Hanuman Chalisa, and then after that, bhajan until the end.
हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान हो सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान
Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja,
निज मन मुकुर सुधार
Varunau Raghavara Vimala Jasu,
जो नायक बलचार
Buddhihina Tanu Janike,
सुमिरो पवन कुमार
Balaburi Vidya Deho Mohe,
हरो कलेश विकार हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान
Jai Hanuman Jai Hanuman
जय कपीश देव लोक उजागर
Ramaduta Yatulisa Balanama,
अंजलि पुत्र पवन सुत नामा
Mahavira Vikram Bhajaranje,
कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी
Kantana Parana Viraj Suvesha,
कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा
Adamasa Bhaja Viranja,
कादे भूज जनेऊ साजे
Shankara Suvarna Keshari Nandan,
तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन
Vidyamana Guri Yati Jatu,
राम काज करिबे को आतुर
Prabhu Charata Sadipe Korasya, Ram Lakhan Sita Manavasya,
हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान
Shvarupa Dharsiya Hidikava,
विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा
Deva Rupa Dhari Asura Samhara, सहस्रयो जनपरभानु
लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानो
प्रभु बोधता मेरे मुखभानु
जल्दी लांघ गए अचरज लाई
दुर्गम काज जगत के
सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हारे देते
राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे
होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे
सब सकल है तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक का हमको डरना है हनुमान जी हनुमान जी हनुमान जी
हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान
आपन तेज सवारो आपन
तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे
भूत सागर जगत रहे आवे
महावीर जब नाम सुनावे
आशे लोग रहे सब वीरा
जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा
संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे
मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे
सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा
दिल के काज सकल तुम साजा
और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे
सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे
चारों युग परताप तुम्हारे
हे प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा
साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे
हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान हमारे राम जी को राम राम कहियो जी हनुमान
अष्ट सिद्धि नव दिन के दाता
असबर दीन जानकी माता
राम रसायन तुमरे पासा
सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा
तुमरे भजन राम को भावे
जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे
अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाए
जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई
और देवता चेतन धरे
हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करे
संकट कटै जय सब वीरा
जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलवीरा
जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
कृपा करो गुरुदेव गिराए
जो निकार पाठ कर कोई
छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई
जो जय पड़े नाम चाहे
होए सिद्धि साची गौरी साथ
तुलसीदास सदा घर चेरा की जय दास जय महदेरा
हमारे राम जी को राम राम
कहियो जी हनुमान
हमारे राम जी को राम राम
कहियो जी हनुमान
सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान
ओ सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान
सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान
ओ सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान
पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित बतौ स्वरूप
ओ सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 सीता राम 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 हनुमान
हनुमान की जय. Today's Puja Piti Bhoj is sponsored by Leonard and Lalita. Celebrating 83rd birthday of their mom and grandmother, Mrs. Chand Sukhdev. She's my god sister. I think she's related to Daman also, and the Kesur family. Birthday of their son Sanjay and grandson Rishi Bisoon, and also to honor their mother and grandmother Kasi with
Mrs.
Mrs. Sukhdeo Saricharan, who passed away. Next. Vasant Panchami on Wednesday, 25th of January, 6 o'clock. Next. Jalan Bapa, next. Purnima Satyanarayana Sunday, February 5th, 5:30. There's something on February 5th. Oh, the cardiologist is coming. Okay. Mahashivratri, Saturday, we're starting at 7:30? 7:30 or earlier? Okay, 7 o'clock. Where do I come and start? Jahan मैं खड़ा हूँ वहीं से. Okay, I would like, if someone would like to participate in Rudram chanting, please give Parit your name. If someone would like to participate in Rudram chanting, please give Parit your name. There is a Bhakti Sangeet, which I'm asked to announce, which will be taking place on Saturday, April 22nd at 6 p.m. And Pandit Neil Prasad, Pandit Bhargavin, Pandit Narad Gosai, and Pandit Hardat. So what happened, you Pandit Bhosh? Did I ask you to sing? You can sing better than all of them. You are better than all of these guys here. How come they didn't ask you to sing? Huh? You're differently. Okay. Anyway, this is in support of the Radha Krishna Mandir. And the tickets will be here, I think, I imagine. Yeah. Okay, April 22nd, I think Damar would like to say something about that. So, there are two things you would like to talk about.
Namaste, everyone. I greet you this morning in the name of Lord Krishna. Dr. Dubey was very educational again this morning, and we should commend him for that. Two things. The golf tournament, we had our second meeting on Friday evening. Of the 36 foursomes, 18 have been committed. We haven't collected any monies as yet, but that's coming at the next announcement. We are missing 18. The tournament will be sold out, one way or another. There's no question about that. If you do not get in on time, you will get in at the higher rate. So, make your commitment now. Last week, when I was here, I mentioned the domestic violence conference. Dr. Dubey and I spoke very briefly about it, and then I made the announcement. As I was leaving, Pandit Boj and I chatted. We agreed upon a date. April 22nd at 10 o'clock in the morning. It will run from about 10 to 12, and then it will continue a little bit longer, and I'll explain what that is all about. So that was on Sunday. On Monday morning, I reached out to a judge, to a Crown attorney, to a senior defense lawyer, all South Asian women, and they all agreed and readily agreed to participate. They will be discussing the problems we are having in the community with respect to domestic violence. I'm trying to get a police officer. She will come and she will talk about what limitations they have once the call is made and the arrest has to be made, and then we'll go on from there. What will happen after 12 o'clock? Every day or second day in my office, I get calls from parents and children who want to go to law school. What we will be creating that day is an opportunity for these students to meet with the judge, to meet with the Crown Attorney, to meet with the defense lawyer, and these people will act as mentors for them going forward. It is an opportunity for you to bring out your kids, to meet with these people. No one will be rushed. We'll take as long as we have to. So each child or each student will get to meet with these people. We are creating opportunities for our children, and we encourage you to take the opportunity that we are creating. I teach at the law school, and it's not a question of boasting. My class size is 30. This year, I'm happy to report there were 7 South Asian women in that class.
Wow, nice.
So people are applying and they're getting in. Do not let your child or grandchild be left behind. Let us continue to create opportunities for them as this temple is creating opportunities for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. It's an opportunity for everybody to come and listen to that, because it's a very hot topic, this domestic violence, and we see it every day. And as the lawyer has just said, he sees it in his practice, and also most important for the students to come out. If they want to do law, find about what are the ramifications, what are involved, it's very important. So this is an opportunity that you are getting. Speaking about opportunity, when you come here to our clinic downstairs, we have a cardiologist who's coming, who saw patients a week ago and who's sick, or 2 weeks ago, and he'll be coming back on the 5th of February. We're having a nephrologist coming from a pastor, not on the 5th of February, different days. We have pediatricians, we have internal medicine specialists, we're having a urologist, quite a few specialties. We don't have all the specialties because that's very difficult for us to get a gynecologist and a dermatologist. These are difficult people to get, but I'm still working on all these sort of things. But we're going to have like a polyclinic like here, like a one-stop shop. We come, we get your heart check, your blood pressure, and Professor Sonia Anand will be coming to do a clinic once every 6 weeks. As you know, she's an expert in diabetes and hypertension as it affects South Asians. She's the world authority on that. And you know, when you get everything so easy, we never appreciate it. But if you gotta go to Mayo Clinic now, oh, Mayo Clinic. But we have people just as good as Mayo Clinic. But all we say, we don't appreciate it. So it's up to you. These are the possibilities. All good? Okay, all right. He met me in the plane?
Yeah. Going to Guyana.
Oh, going to Guyana, okay. There's a Darshan who used to play tabla here?
Yeah.
No, he's a big boy. He don't come to tabla anymore. But now he's going to do a program. Where's he? Darshan there? Oh, there you are. He's going to do a program for the dialysis program in Guyana. Thank you. We'll talk about it. Okay. We're going to close.
Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe Govind Bhajavan Shri Radhe Radhe.
Shri Radhe Govind Bhajavan Shri Radhe. Shri Radhe Govind Bhajavan Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe Jai Jai Radhe.
O Radhe Shri Radhe Jai Jai Radhe.
Bolo Shri Radhe Govind Bhajavan Vasudeva ki. Om Namah Parvati Pataye. Hara Hara Mahadev. When the history of dialysis is written, that we have done for Guyana, Leonard's name has to be featured there very prominently. When we used to struggle, they would call me from Guyana since they run out of the tubing for dialysis. I'll get Leonard, we'll pack up the suitcase, we'll go to the airport, we'll beg somebody to take it for us, or we'll pay for it, or what the case may be, to take the suitcase so the people could be dialyzed, because if they're not dialyzed, they'll die. He was exemplary. And anything I asked him for the dialysis clinic, he was foremost and never asked for a penny. I had to bring machines from Aurelia. I don't know if you all know where Aurelia is. From Aurelia, from Guelph, from Hamilton. Not one time, not two times, many times. Our clinic wanted an ultrasound machine. To buy one ultrasound machine, second hand is $11,000. I got 3 used machines from McMaster for free. He is going to get it for me. Plus, they're going to give me instruments for the operating room. McMaster has done so much for us also, but Leonard has been the fulcrum upon which everything rotates. He takes them to the warehouse, he makes sure it's done. He has given us 150% support when it comes to the dialysis clinic. So today, he is providing Pretty Bhoj. I just want you all to know what effort he has put in to make this a success. And for all of us to understand that we have opened a dialysis clinic in Parika, and we are going to open one now in Diamond. Diamond one will take a little time. We hopefully will open it by either end of March or early April. So then, why are we opening up in Diamond? And why are we opening up all these dialysis clinics? Because we're making money? No. Because we're providing service for people who can't pay the amount of money that the other dialysis clinics are offering for. They are offering for $15,000, we are giving them for $8,000. Government give them $6,000, so all they have to put now is $2,000. Sometimes we try to get 10 if it's possible, because it's very expensive. How much can I beg you? How much can I ask you? Daman is doing this golf tournament for dialysis. Last year, Roy did a marathon for dialysis. So everybody is struggling so much. And I would like to tell you one day that, you know what, we are self-sufficient. And I'm hoping by next year, God spare life, I will be able to tell you that we are self-sufficient. We will still collect money for other projects like iClinic and other things and so forth. I want this to be an ongoing thing, where we can do charity for places where medicine can't reach them or they can't afford it. I would like that Vishnu Temple should do this, so people who come or who hear about it must understand that you give, that you take, we all take, all of us have taken. There's a time when we have taken so much, we must try to give. Arti.
Om Jai Jagdish Hare Swami Jai Jagdish Hare Bhakti Jano ke sankat Das Jano ke sankat Jan pe dur kar Om Jai Jagdish Hare Jo dyaave phal paave dukh vin se man ka
दुख विन से मन का
sukh sampati
घर आवे
sukh sampati घर आवे
कष्ट मिटे तन का
Om
जगदीश हरे। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण ग्रहु मैं किसकी।
स्वामी शरण कहो मैं किसकी।
तुम बिन और न दूजा,
प्रभु बिन और न दूजा।
आश करूं मैं किसकी।
ओम जय
जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति।
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति।
किस विध मिलो गोसाई,
किस विध मिलो गोसाई।
तुमको मैं कुमति।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता,
ठाकुर तुम मेरे।
स्वामी रक्षक तुम मेरे। अपने हाथ उठाओ,
अपनी शरण लगाओ।
द्वार खड़ा मैं तेरे।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा।
स्वामी कष्ट हरो देवा।
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ,
श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ।
संतन की सेवा।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
ओम जय
जगदीश हरे।
तन मन धन सब है तेरा।
स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा।
तेरा तुझको अर्पण,
तेरा तुझको अर्पण।
क्या लागे मेरा।
ओम जय
जगदीश हरे।
ओम जय
जगदीश हरे।
ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
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 राम राम राजा राम, बोलो राम 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 राजा राम। राम 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 राजा राम, राम 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 राजा राम। राम 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 राम। I want to thank, we have never had so many tabla players in our temple. Brian, Nitesh, our young drummer from Kitchener, Dave also was here, and Vedant. So we thank you all for coming.
ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुदेव भगवान की जय। धर्म की जय हो, अधर्म का नाश हो, प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो, विश्व का कल्याण हो। हर हर महादेव शंभो शिव शिव शिव।
You want the two others?
Yeah.
What? We are meeting.
हाँ 3 बजे आ जाएंगे ठीक है
You never know.
Yes.